This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, medical experts are sounding an alarm to what they're calling a crisis as the number of babies contracting RSV continues to grow. Our
AJ Douglas spoke to a mother that says she's doing everything in her power to protect her newborn.
The state of Maine continues to see a surge in respiratory syncytial virus infection, also known as RSV, among babies and toddlers. Friday, healthcare professionals collaborated to address this growing health issue. The respiratory illness can spread through coughs and sneezes.
While we want everyone to know how stretched the healthcare system is right now, we also don't want parents to panic. RSV is a common virus. It's not a new virus like COVID was a couple years ago.
Healthcare professionals say hospital beds in the pediatric ward are virtually full. We spoke to a new mom who says the possibility of her child contracting RSV is her worst nightmare.
I've heard so many horror stories of babies getting it and they end up in the hospital and intubated or on oxygen, and it is terrifying.
According to the Maine Center of Disease Control and Prevention, symptoms of RSV include coughing, sore throat, running nose, and wheezing. The new mother speaks on small ways she helps protect her baby in a big way.
Nobody is allowed to kiss his hands or his face, limiting who gets to hold him and look at him and stuff when we're out in public.
Doctors say babies under 6 months old, premature infants, and even older children with underlying heart or lung problems could be at risk during this flu and COVID-19 season. Healthcare leaders also recommend best practices to parents so to keep their children safe.
During this RSV surge, we should be keeping those children at high risk, particularly newborns and young infants, away from public indoor crowded places. Just during this surge, it's just important to keep them protected, just like we do with COVID and influenza.
Other preventative methods include washing hands with soap, covering coughs as well as sneezes, while refraining from kissing to decrease the spread of RSV. In Bangor, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
The National Labor Relations Board says Chipotle Mexican Grill violated federal labor law by closing a Maine restaurant when its workers sought to unionize. An NLRB complaint seeks to force the company to reopen the restaurant, reinstate the workers, and provide them with back pay. Employees at the Chipotle in Augusta were the first to file an NLRB petition in June asking to hold a union election. The following month, Chipotle announced it was permanently closing that location.
One of the reasons that the region is seeking that kind of broad sweeping relief and has, I think, similar Starbucks cases is to get a message out, for lack of a better term, to employers that they can't just engage with impunity and union busting by closing their stores when employees decide that they want to form a union.
A Chipotle executive says the closing had nothing to do with union activity.
A top U.S. energy official is voicing support for newly announced funds that will lower heating costs for American families this winter. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, otherwise known as LIHEAP, those funds will be distributed to states, territories, and tribes to subsidize home heating costs. The funds were announced on Wednesday as part of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. Maine is set to receive $42.5 million in LIHEAP funds that will be given to residents that qualify for them. U.S. Deputy Secretary of Energy David Turk discussed the importance of these funds for so many Americans.
It's called energy poverty. A lot of lower income folks unfortunately pay a higher percentage of their overall salary just to heat their homes, especially in winter in the Northeast. And so LIHEAP helps reduce that burden, helps provide some benefit.
Those who are interested in applying for energy assistance can visit the Energy Help website or call the National Energy Assistance Referral Hotline.
Well, a local organization working to serve the homeless community recently announced some good news. Hope for Homeless operates in the Bangor area by providing resources to shelters like delivering food, clothing, and and other major necessities that we sometimes take for granted, like water. Back in May, Blue Triton donated 40,000 bottles of water to the organization, and Friday, the water supplier delivered 38,000 more bottles of water for homeless patrons. Co-founder of Hope House, Ann Sweeney, says having a diverse set of donors helps them fill in the gaps when providing for those in need.
The site community does not get access to water. We don't want them drinking out of streams or mud puddles. I mean, we're not just talking adult homeless here. We have families that are homeless with children.
Warehouse space in Bangor is difficult to find. Water is one of the survival things that you need.
Anyone interested in donating can connect with Hope for Homeless via Facebook.
Great to see those kinds of donations rolling in to help those who need those essentials most.
I don't think the need is going to go down this year. If anything, it's going to go up. So you hope that those organizations are ready to step up and that people support them as well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, turning things over, let's take a first look at our forecast and see if the ridiculously summer-like weather continues.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yeah.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Friday. We made it. Your first weather is brought to you by Goose River Farm Meat Store. And okay, look at this today. Woo, 68 here in Bangor, 70 in Millinocket. We'll take it. And tomorrow is going to be just a bit warmer across our area. Also on Sunday, maybe on Monday, followed by some big changes next week. Lots of clouds out there for parts of the area now. They're going to kind of be skirting us this evening, basically to our north, though. We'll keep things nice and quiet through the weekend, except for maybe a little bit of drizzle getting in here later on Sunday. Other than that, though, all of this going to our north, we are in a really happy spot right now through the weekend. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies, with low temperatures hanging out in the 50s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter.
Feels like a weekend that's just ripe for a nighttime campfire.
Yeah.
And some s'mores.
Yeah, exactly. You may have already put that equipment away, thinking there's not going to be any more time for that this year.
Oh no, get it back out.
This weekend.
Indeed.
Enjoy yourself.
All right. Well, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, the town of Bar Harbor will be voting on a petition that would limit the amount of cruise ship visitors next season.
And also on Election Day, the town of Herman will be voting to approve or deny funds to improve the Pottle Athletic Field. Those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Looking to improve or upgrade your home or place of business? With at-home furniture, appliance, and bedding, and kitchen and bath and flooring, we offer a great selection to do just that. From homeowners to commercial businesses and everything in between, our friendly professionals with more than 50 years of combined experience pride themselves in going above and beyond to work with you every step of the way. And we even offer a full-service appliance repair department. Come and visit us at our Dover Foxcroft or our new Lincoln location. Stop in either location today and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Jared Golden took money from an anti-lobstering group.
You know, the other day we're hauling and everybody was saying, so why did Jared Golden take this money?
Because he's a politician, and that's what politicians do.
He's funded by the very people that could put an end to our entire industry.
Shutting the lobster industry down would be devastating for the people of Maine.
If you cared about Maine and you were for the fishermen, you would have immediately give that money back. It was literally like a big kick in the nuts.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I am so fearful this winter for oil prices.
We can't go on like this.
Jared Golden's votes are definitely making inflation worse.
Jared Golden is not independent.
Golden and Biden are lockstep.
I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I cannot support Jared Golden.
We need to make a change. Maine needs Bruce Poliquin.
Bruce Poliquin is concerned with Maine people of all walks of life.
I know Bruce Poliquin cares for Maine, and I know he'll fight for us.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating. 990-22
Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. In preparation for the midterm elections, we're taking a closer look at some of the local issues that will be on the ballot. The town of Bar Harbor will be voting on a petition that could fundamentally change its entire tourism season. Devin Dagnall explains.
The stronger a vote that can come out of the Bar Harbor citizens, the better. Now, it's up to the citizen.
In just a few days, the town of Bar Harbor will be voting on a citizen's petition that would restrict the number of cruise ship passengers allowed on shore at a time.
Sentiments have been building for quite some time that the cruise industry is having a large and increasingly too large influence on Bar Harbor. There are days when it totally takes over the town. It's driven a lot of better and regular visitors away.
The petition would limit the number of cruise ship passengers allowed on shore to just 1,000 at a time. The number of passengers coming and going would be tracked by the harbor master, and if the ships do not comply, they will be fined $100 per extra person on shore.
There are people who want the more the better, and there are people who want none, zero. And then we did some back of the hand calculations, but we thought that this was a reasonable compromise.
The petition, of course, is not without its critics. Kevin DeVoe, owner of the West Street Cafe, says that the restrictions imposed on cruise ships would be detrimental to his business.
Cruise ships amount to about 30 to 35% of our business. It's how we get to profitability. And without them, we can't see any way to it.
DeVoe says if the regulations are approved, he may have to close his restaurant earlier in the season and possibly cut staff.
It's a huge loss of revenue, and it will challenge us to, eventually we're going to have to decide, do we want to continue to operate a restaurant?
The decision is now in the hands of Bar Harbor residents, who will vote on the matter this Tuesday. In Bar Harbor, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Well, Herman residents will be voting whether to appropriate funds to improve the Pottle Athletic Field. Now, voters had already approved the upgrades in the 2021 primary, but with the cost of the project now higher than expected, the school committee and town council decided that voters should take a second look. Emma Smith has the details.
With multiple funding sources for the possible improvements of Pottle Field, it could be easy for voters to be unsure of how it would directly impact them. Micah Grant, the superintendent of Herman Schools, says the approval of the question could cause a tax increase.
We're trying to pull in as many different funding sources as possible, so we're trying to secure donorship. We're trying to offset that increase with reserve accounts, and the town and the school have been really responsible in the last decade at putting money aside, putting money in reserve accounts. The Herman taxpayers have already paid, so we might as well tap into those when it's going to benefit the entire community.
Grant says if the improvements are approved, more teams, including the middle school and rec teams, would have more playing time on the fields, which currently have to be carefully scheduled and rearranged due to drainage issues.
We have a really robust rec program, and we have hundreds of kids in rec football and in rec soccer. And so one of the things that we like to do is we like to bring those kids right onto our, they get to play on those fields because, again, it just builds that excitement. And whether that is soccer or football, we want our rec to be able to use the field. But, again, you have to limit that exposure when, you're talking about playing surfaces and keeping them in tip-top shape.
If approved, they could break ground for this project as soon as December. For ABC 7 and Fox 22, I'm Emma Smith.
And certainly join us for full coverage of the midterm elections here on ABC 7 News. We'll have full coverage, insight, and analysis.
And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, students at a Lincoln school put their own spin on one of America's favorite board games.
And in sports, Maine field hockey opened up postseason play with a semifinal match against Stamford. We'll have highlights and reaction after the break.
I think Janet Mills has been a pretty okay governor. Actually, she's been a good governor. And, okay, I think she's been a great governor. Okay, did I get it right?
Nice work, Angus.
Okay. Now look, the formula seems to be no partisan brawls, working together with the parties, taking ideas from everybody.
Right. Turns out in this day and age, working together still pays off.
Who could believe it? See? Pretty okay.
I'll take it. Thanks, Angus.
I've got plans. We've all got them. But Bruce Poliquin's plans would put Social Security benefits at risk. He planned to raise the retirement age and cap retirees' cost of living increases. He even opposed allowing Medicare to negotiate cheaper drug prices. But Jared Golden didn't just plan. He passed legislation to cap seniors' drug costs and let Medicare negotiate drug prices. Jared Golden is the man with the right plan.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
In Maine, our independence, hard work, and freedoms mean everything, but not to Paul LePage. He's repeatedly attacked women's reproductive freedom. LePage supported letting states ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, defunded family planning programs, and told extremists we shouldn't have abortion. He's a risk to our health and freedom, and it's why we can't go back to Paul LePage. The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
After 9/11, Jared Golden joined the Marines and served the country he loves. When he returned, he ran for office to serve the state he calls home. He passed legislation to cap the cost of insulin for seniors and lower drug prices for people across Maine. But Bruce Poliquin, he went from Wall Street to Washington to serve himself, taking thousands from drug companies and voting against capping costs. Jared Golden, from here, for us. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Did you know that Renewal by Andersen will replace your windows any time of the year and in any weather? Made with our exclusive Fibrix material, which is vastly superior to vinyl, never needs painting, and resists warping and bowing. We custom build your replacement windows in the USA and back them with the nation's best warranty. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation. Don't miss this money-saving deal with great financing. Installation is always included. Call now.
The Husson University Eagles take on the Nichols College Bisons this Saturday at noon on ABC 7.
Welcome back in. Happy Friday. Thank you for staying with us. Some good news to start. It has been reported that the MPA and high school hockey officials have finally reached an agreement. With girls hockey practices scheduled to start on Monday, on Friday, the officials and the governing body were back at the negotiations table, and they reportedly left with an agreement. Sources have confirmed with our sister station WGME in Davide that the officials and the MPA agreed upon a 3-year deal, with officials being paid the $90 per game that they had asked for. I'm being told from 2 local ADs that nothing is completely final yet. Both sides have one more hurdle, the approval from the MPA's Officials and Fees Committee. So we will have confirmation of all of this information as soon as possible. Moving on now to a different type of hockey, America East Field Hockey Tournament. It's in day 2 up in Orono on Friday. Top-seeded Maine finally in action in the semifinals, hosting 5th-seeded Stanford. Stanford, they're looking for revenge after dropping one to the Black Bears just last week. Let's start second quarter. Stanford's Haley Mossmer sends one shooting towards the net. That's so fast we didn't catch it on the camera. Makes it 1-0 Cardinals. Moving on now into the second half. It's the third quarter. Poppy Lambert off the corner. She takes the shot, but look at the save by Kendall Dowd, and then the rebound chance by Chloe Walton just misses wide. Still 1-0 Stanford. Fourth quarter, Stanford up 2, make it 3. Haley Mossmer with the hat trick. She'd have all 3 goals for the Cardinals. They go on to win 3-1 in the upset win over the Black Bears, and Stanford's heading to the finals. Here's Coach Babineau's thoughts on her team's stellar year.
You know, it's a great season. That's what I told the players after the game. I mean, their effort throughout the year and what they achieved as a group, and the type of players that we have with the achievements that they had was very good for the year.
All right, so that is the end of the season for Maine field hockey. They do not get to their second straight NCAA tournament, but regular season champions, undefeated in conference. Still a lot of positives to build on with a lot of people coming back. Let's move on now. A big night for Friday night football. There are 2 8-man regional title games in our area down at MDI. Our Ryan Sudol is at one of them. Ryan, what is going on the island?
Hey, Tyler, a great night for football, beautiful weather, great atmosphere. They have a barbecue going on in the parking lot. Great stuff here at MDI. MDI facing Waterville for the 8-man large North title. Winner tonight gets the winner of the 8-man large South title between Yarmouth and Mount Ararat. That game will happen next week. But let's stick with tonight for the time being. MDI, the 1 seed, 5-2 on the regular season. They have a 5-game winning streak heading into tonight's game. And over that stretch, 47 points a game. Now, Waterville, they're the 3 seed, and they beat the 2 seed Morse 22-12 last week, so they're no strangers to winning in a hostile environment like they're going to have to here tonight. I know you can't see the crowd, but it is filling in quite nicely. But the interesting part about that is that Waterville actually beat MDI on September 26th, 26-20. That is the least amount of points MDI scored all season long. So Waterville seems to have the Trojans' number. It'll be up to the Trojans to make the adjustments from that loss in order to advance to the state title game next week. And if they do win tonight and win next week, MDI will win their first state title in football, period, in school history. The school opened back in 1968. Waterville, on the other hand, they have a big drought as well. If they get the win and win next week, they will win their first state title since 1974. This game is going to be great. Plenty of points, plenty of storylines, and plenty of fun. You'll see highlights tonight on the 11 o'clock news on ABC 7. Tyler?
Thanks for that, Ryan. Awesome stuff right there. So let's see if those Trojans can top that Waterville defense that gave them so much trouble earlier in the year. We will also have the Orono and Stearns game. I'm heading up to Millinocket as soon as I get this tie off. And then we will have Herman and Oceanside in the Class C North semifinals. But for now, that is all the time we have for sports. Here is Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, Tyler, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Ford, the nice car and truck people. And this squirrel knows what's up because he knows that this weather can't last forever. And he's right, but warmer temperatures this weekend followed by a sharp cool down getting in here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. But today, look at these numbers. 68 here in Bangor, 70 Millinocket, 69 Greenville. This is unusual, near record-breaking heat out there today. And we're going to do it tomorrow and for Sunday and for Monday before that cold front comes through on Monday night. All right, so low temperatures tonight, or not so low temperatures, upper 40s to low 50s for lows. Again, that's unusual. That's above the average high. And then tomorrow, right back up in the 60s again, and maybe a couple low 70s across our area high temperatures tomorrow. The wind's been out of the south all day today. It got a little gusty for a while, and a couple wind gusts near 20. That's beginning to die down now. And again, broken record, you know what that means. We'll have that visibility drop down again tonight with some dense fog. Right now, though, we're all good. 10 miles or greater across the entire region. But again, that dense fog will develop tonight again with those low temperatures near 50 and dew points near 50 as well. Will give us that dense fog well after midnight, more likely closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. All right, looking outside today, we have some clouds and lots of clear skies too. But overall, kind of a partly cloudy day for us. There is a larger system, or at least a storm track, just to our north right now, but it's to our north, right? All of this is going that way, up and around a ridge of high pressure across our neck of the woods, so that's going to keep us dry, except for there could be a couple of sprinkles in the forecast later on Sunday, as some of this gets just close enough on Sunday afternoon to bring us a couple of sprinkles. Other than that, though, we're dry into the weekend. Actually, a pretty long, dry stretch of weather unfolding into the middle portions of next week. Let's walk you through it tonight. No worries at all. Here's tomorrow morning, 7:30 or so. Looking at lots of clear skies. The fog will burn off quickly tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow is going to be a very, very, very nice day with increasing clouds throughout the afternoon with the high clouds in there as well. And then Sunday looks more cloudy than Saturday does. And there's that rain out to the west of us. And again, we could see a couple sprinkles in here on Sunday. Most of us will stay dry with that long, dry stretch of weather. This will all kind of fade away, getting in our area later on Sunday afternoon. Okay, so going forward, our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, some mostly clear skies. That dense fog is once again likely with low temperatures or not so low temperatures down near 50 with that southwest breeze around 5 to 10. For tomorrow, all right, lots of clouds and partly cloudy, a bit breezy in there too. High temperatures near 71. For real. All right, with that southwest breeze that could gust near 25. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story. 71 tomorrow, 70 on Sunday. Time change on Sunday. Monday, 71, but then, what happens here? A sneaky cold front comes through Monday night. That's going to drop our high temperatures into the upper 50s to low 40, upper 40s, low 50s, Tuesday to Wednesday of next week. Beth and Peter.
All right, well, a big transition on the way, for sure.
Indeed, yep. There's still more to come after the break, though. Stay with us.
That's like one of the weirdest 5 days.
Janet Mills is crushing Maine families. Under her watch, Mainers will face rolling blackouts this winter, putting our most vulnerable, like seniors, at risk. And because of Mills and Joe Biden's failed agenda, Mainers will pay 72% more for home heating oil and $60 more each month for groceries. Mainers can't afford more of the failed Mills agenda. Vote no on Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Wings for Children and Families is hiring youth and child case managers across central and northern Maine for all 6 of our locations. Wings offers a highly supportive work environment where caring and compassionate individuals can make a difference in the lives of children with special needs. Call today, visit our website, or connect with us on Facebook to learn how you can make a referral for services or join our team, where we are highly committed to bringing hope to those we serve. Wings, ranked one of the best places to work in Maine for the last 5 years in a row.
Our Medicare supplement and drug coverage is so expensive, we're barely keeping up with our bills.
My husband and I were in the same situation, so I got some help from the Senior Planning Center. They were able to show us some high-quality Medicare Advantage plans that saved us a lot of money.
The Senior Planning Center? Tell me more.
They have helpful agents all over the state, real Mainers helping Mainers. Give them a call, the Senior Planning Center. They were there to help when it mattered most. I'm glad I called them. You'll be glad too.
Jared Golden and the Democrats by the numbers. The worst inflation in 40 years. Home heating, groceries, gasoline, all through the roof. 87,000 new IRS agents. $20 billion in new taxes on the middle class. All because 83% of the time, Jared Golden votes with Biden and Pelosi. On November 8, stop the Democrats' war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Janet Mills? 4 years ago, we filmed an ad here supporting her. But Janet has been a disaster for the state of Maine. She's driving up inflation, and her decisions have permanently harmed small businesses and our economy.
And she's bad for seniors and Maine families. Mills raised our electric bill, and she's pushing up home heating costs.
We need Paul LePage now.
We've got to vote for Paul LePage.
However you spend your day, spend it in style. At Label Shopper, you'll find designer brands for 30 to 70% less than department stores. With prices this low, you can grab all your favorite styles. Label Shopper, great clothes, great prices.
Tonight, 4 days to go. Which party will control the House? Which will control the Senate? Plus, the governor's races across the country. For the election, Americans turn to ABC News and the #1 newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Welcome back, everyone. Students at a Lincoln school are putting their own spin on one of America's favorite board games. Matthew Jurancic explains.
Katanen Motors, Stanley's Garage, S.W. Collins. These are some of the businesses in the Lincoln area that will be featured on the new Moosopoly board that Lauren Manzo's class created at Northern Penobscot Tech Region 3 in Lincoln.
Last year, we were coming up with ideas for something to sell at our annual auction. We found a company that creates them. We've signed a contract with them to sell, have them produce 500 boards for us.
The students have been hard at work collaborating with local businesses using what they learned in bringing the game to life. Olivia Gary, who is in charge of creating the pickup cards, loves putting a local twist on this classic game.
You get to put like a creative flow into it, like a writer. So we have to think of, your car broke down, go to this garage to get it fixed, and you move to that spot. I think it's fun.
The money raised will help them with a trip to Skills USA, a competition with other digital design classes from around the world. But first, they'll need to have to pass START. Like Monopoly, it's a race around the board, but you have to stay in an inn instead of a hotel, and will test your fate instead of chance. The idea has been embraced by many of the local businesses in the area.
We have many programs, including our building trades program, and SW Collins is all about construction and building trades, so it helps support our future.
More importantly, the kids are learning life tools that could catapult them past Pennsylvania Avenue all the way to a great payday.
It's like a learning experience on like what we're going to end up doing in the real world.
And Manzo could not be any more proud of her students.
It's just been an overall really warming situation because it's gone a lot bigger and faster than we thought it was going to.
You can actually purchase one of these boards for $25 or wait till they're done for $30 by reaching out to Region 3 on Facebook or calling the school directly. Reporting from Lincoln, Matthew Gerontic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Definitely cool to put that local twist on it, and what a great name too, Moosopoly.
Moosopoly, yeah, no, you can't go wrong with that. And it's actually funny because there's already a Maine Monopoly version. I think Moosopoly is probably even more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely a Monopoly person, but you got to have the time.
Yep. Oh yeah, you do.
Good
All
night,
right, good night,
everybody.
everyone.